folks, Bob Mannery here, and you're listening to Agree to Disagree, the flagship, only on A2D Radio. Uncle Sweeps. Hi, folks, Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio, for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What is up, everybody? The Hooligans back here on another Saturday afternoon edition. I'm here with Scotty.
What's going on, guys?
Vespy behind the ones and twos.
Hey, yo.
What's up, Vespy?
What's up?
This episode is brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 301 Oxford Valley Road, Yardley, Pennsylvania, 215-369-3300. Okay. We are here to talk about the Birds, and the Birds, and the Birds only. Maybe the Flyers and Sixers later on in the show. We don't know. No Red Sox. Do not ask me about the Red Sox. I will not answer. Absolutely.
But you know
not.
somebody's going to ask about it in the chat.
Oh, they probably will.
Just to troll Kyle, right?
Yeah, probably just to troll
you.
Yeah, they're good.
They know you by now.
Yeah.
They know who you support.
It is what it is. Scotty, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm ready for the Birds are back. Feels like it's been at least a week.
At least 10 days, yeah.
Over a week, so feels like it's been a year to me. But Birds are back, baby. Let's get to it.
Yep, Birds are back. And you know what? I want to ask you a question going into this game on Sunday. What are your biggest concerns? And I'm starting this right off the bat because I need to know. All right? What are your biggest concerns on the Philadelphia Eagles right now when it comes to facing Cam Newton, the Carolina Panthers that are obviously more of a run-happy offense than a pass-happy offense? And what are your biggest concerns? Like, what do we have to contain in order to win this game on Sunday?
Well, for me, my biggest concern remains Christian McCaffrey. He's having a pretty damn good year. For him at least, running between the tackles. But it's got to be our secondary. You know, they weren't really tested last Thursday night when they played Eli Manning and the Giants because we know Eli cannot throw the ball over 15 yards anymore. Mm-hmm. So Jalen Mills actually looks pretty good along with the rest of the secondary because they weren't tested. Mm-hmm. But now we've got a former league MVP in Cam Newton coming in. He doesn't have the best wide receiver core, but the formula to beat this Eagles team is to attack the secondary.
Right.
And that's still a big question mark, for me at least, and I'm sure a lot of other Eagles fans.
Well, the biggest question mark, you nailed it right on the head, is the secondary because versus the New York Giants last week, I saw Jalen Mills get burnt at least 10 times against Odell Beckham Jr., but like you said before, Eli Manning can't throw the ball over 15 yards, so that wasn't a problem. Now, we beat the Giants 34-13 last week. I think that was the score. We beat them by 20 points. Doesn't even matter. That was because of one man and one man only. It was Eli Manning. Like, if you had a quarterback back there, in my honest opinion, guys, I think we would have lost the game. Because quarterbacks make
or break a team. Right?
Make or break a team. And Eli Manning is so bad that he is literally breaking the whole chemistry of the New York Giants. Like, it's obvious. You pinpoint one guy and you target, and it's right there on Eli Manning. It's right on his back.
I mean, they have, arguably one of the best running back wide receiver duos in Saquon and Odell. So
yeah, they actually have a really good offense. Like, I mean
if any quarterback would die for that duo.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is the offensive line the best? No, but at the same time,
it sucks.
Listen, okay, fine, it does suck. All right, you're right, but at the same time, Eli Manning, when he scrambles away from pressure, when he has time, he has like this rag arm that you can't even explain. Like, you have a better arm, like outside the pocket.
I think everyone here in the studio does, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you'd probably throw your arm out trying to throw a long ball, but at the same time,
dog upstairs has a better arm.
Yeah, the dog upstairs has a better arm. Like, Eli Manning is atrocious. And guess what? I hope he stays for the next 5 years, but
he's shot. I mean, it's like just like his brother. We saw like when they hit their decline, it's really fast.
Yeah.
It's quick.
No, and you know what sucks is that the Giants are going to suck this year. They're going to lose probably almost every game, and they're going to get another top 3 pick, which means they're going to get Herbert from Oregon. They're going to finally get a quarterback.
Which I don't know. The jury's still out for me on him, but
yeah, but now they have Saquon, they have Odell Beckham, they have Ingram, they have Sterling Shepard, and they have Herbert, who is better than Eli Manning.
well, I think anybody's better than Eli at this point.
Yeah.
Like we were just saying.
So I mean, it could be the biggest switch around in NFL history if they end up getting a top 3 pick, which is kind of scary. I'm not here to talk about the Giants, but it's true. And
I'm going to disagree with what you said a little bit earlier that they would have won if they had another quarterback.
Yeah.
I just think the Eagles own the Giants so bad over the past 10 years that it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is.
Right.
Obviously, them having Eli definitely is in our favor. But what was really encouraging for me last week was how well Wentz played and how well the offense, the unit as a whole. Yes, it was against the Giants' poorest defense, but like I said last week, this is such an offensive league. If you can't score points, if you can't keep up with other teams, you basically have no shot. I don't care how good your defense is. You have to be able to score points. And it was really encouraging to see, Ertz looking like a fucking Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
Alshon Jeffrey being back into full swing, and Wentz looking like an MVP-type quarterback. Again, now, it was against the Giants, who, in my opinion, only the Cardinals are worse, maybe in the entire league.
They're bad, yeah.
We saw that on Thursday night, but
They have a quarterback there. They're not going to go quarterback in the
Who?
first round.
The Cardinals? Yeah, I don't really care about the Cardinals. They're so bad. But like I said, it was really encouraging to see the offense because that was their best game. We have not seen this team in all 3 phases have a game like they did.
Yeah.
So I don't care who the opponent is. You had to have a game like that because before the last Thursday, we were wondering if we could beat anybody.
Right.
I mean, that's how low some of the fan base was. I don't know about you. I know you're pretty negative.
I'm still that way.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm still that way is because we beat the Giants. Like, whoop-de-doo. The Giants are an awful team, a god-awful team. Like you said, we've owned them. Eli Manning is 4-17 in the last 20 he's played against us.
I think that's since like 08, something like that.
Yeah, since 08. 4-17, guys. That means we've owned them. Not only have we owned them, Eli Manning is deteriorating. Like,
He's shot. He's done. This
he's
is
shot.
his last year.
Like,
there's no way in hell that he's back next year.
It's like a guaranteed win, and with Eli Manning behind there, you're going to keep winning. I took absolutely nothing away from that game. I'm sorry I couldn't. Like, tomorrow is a game is a test because you're playing an actual quarterback. Now, I don't really like Cam Newton, but he is an actual quarterback. He's a freak. He can
former MVP.
Yeah,
put some respect on that name a little bit.
Fuck him. Yeah, 15-1, you're gonna get MVP. All right, that's just how it is. They had a great team. They had Josh Norman back there in the secondary. He
was their entire offense, though.
Yeah, he was, but whatever. Tomorrow is such a character test. All right, now
it's at home. Got the crowd
what's
behind
the point
you.
spread? 5.
Eagles by 5. Yeah.
Eagles by 5. So it's a little bit different than 3. So we're actually giving more.
Who knows? That could go up too by the time kickoff starts.
It could.
It could be like 5.5, 6 maybe.
But yeah, let me tell you something, guys. I'm gonna be honest. If we lose this game tomorrow, we cannot lose this game tomorrow. This is a must-win game tomorrow. If we lose this game tomorrow, there will be no playoffs this year. Absolutely no playoffs this year unless Howie Roseman makes a move for Le'Veon Bell. If we get Le'Veon Bell, that changes everything around. But if Howie doesn't make a move and we lose tomorrow, that is it. There will be no playoffs. There will be no back-to-back. And someone else in this division will take the NFC East crown.
Definitely a must-win. I agree with you there. I think we're just a better team overall than the Panthers. And this is a game you have to have. It's against an NFC team. You need the head-to-head tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm. And
you have to go on a run here. You have to go on a little bit of a streak. We have not won back-to-back games yet this season. I mean, that's something that we obviously have to do. I mean, we had a 9-game winning streak last year, 10-game, whatever it was. So we've already lost 3 games, and we probably shouldn't have lost to the Titans or the Vikings, in my opinion, because we pretty much beat ourselves with sloppy play.
Yeah.
You can blame that on injuries, Wentz, not being fully back, not having Alshon, the running back situation, secondary, whatever.
Right.
But a good team figures out how to win those type games, those close games, if it's against a bad team or a good team. So we have minimal room for error coming up. You know?
I just
especially when you're favored by 5 points at home, you have to win those games.
Vegas
is telling us that we should win this game. You have to win.
Yeah, but you know what? Vegas gives a lot of points to a lot of good teams sometimes, and we are back-to-back champs. So
we've been favored every game.
Yeah,
this
we
year.
have. And going back to your point, yeah, we shouldn't have lost to Tennessee, even though I had that labeled as a loss. Looking at
17-3.
Looking at Tennessee right now, they are a god awful team. Like, they're really bad. And the fact that we let Marcus Mariota just shit right down our throats.
He looks like fucking an MVP candidate for 1 week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it worries me. Like I said before, guys, and I'm talking to everybody out there. Like I said before, if we do not win this game tomorrow, there will not be any playoffs. There won't be. Because we have such a miserable stretch coming up. And I don't want to hear the NFC East is weak. I don't want to hear any of this bullshit. Because guess what? The Washington Redskins took care of business against Carolina last week. All right?
And the Cowboys just killed the Jaguars,
Yeah.
right?
The Cowboys, let me tell you guys something. The Cowboys and Redskins, and I'm being brutally honest with you guys, the Cowboys and Redskins don't suck. They don't. The Cowboys just destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars. An AFC contender. All right? They destroyed them. The Washington Redskins beat Carolina at their place. They took care of business. And if we lose tomorrow, we're screwed.
It's not a good look at all.
We're screwed.
Yeah.
And you know what? I said this last year. I said Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. I know he gets shit on a lot. I know he's inaccurate when he throws target practice or whatever. He can't even hit a target practice right in front of him. It's miserable. But in game, when he's a game manager and he has the pieces around him, he is a good quarterback, and it showed last week. And everyone wants to give us the division. Everyone wants to say that we are the team to beat because we won the Super Bowl and there's no team close to us. Guess what, guys? You're wrong. This is going to get scary if we lose this game tomorrow. And I'm the kind of person that obviously I won another Super Bowl, but I'm also a realist. And you're not going to get a lot of people in this town that are realists. And I'm telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. We have to win this game tomorrow. All right?
It's a must-win.
Because we can't go over to London and play a Jaguars team that got destroyed by the Dallas Cowboys looking for blood and looking to prove that they're still here.
Because they're on a bye this week, right?
They're on a bye. They have time to prepare.
That's dangerous, right?
We cannot lose this game.
2 weeks to think about that pummeling that they had.
Exactly.
Now, the Cowboys, they might have been on that Conor McGregor high, so I don't know if I really put too much stock into them.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, they definitely had a good game last week. Like I said, I don't think the Cowboys or Redskins suck, but I definitely think we're a better team when we play together and we play like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, this team has the potential to potentially go back to the Super Bowl, but they're a long ways away from that.
Right. They're long ways. Like,
you have to beat
you
have to beat the teams on your schedule, and it starts tomorrow with the Panthers. I think you're a better team than the Panthers. The Panthers have talent, way more talent than the Giants, but you have to handle business like you said.
You have to. And, the Carolina Panthers are game number 1, all right? You have to take it one game at a time, like he just said. Game on the schedule, at home. You're in a good environment. The crowd's going to be loud tomorrow. It's going to be cold as fuck tomorrow. Carolina is a beach team, all right? It's going to be loud, cold, and we're going to be it's going to feel like you're pumping more noise into the crowd.
Yeah, I did not know it was going to be that cold tomorrow.
It's going to be freezing.
34 degrees.
It's going to be freezing and windy tomorrow.
That's like fucking winter.
Yeah. Now, I will ask Frank Vespi. What are the comments on Facebook? Like, how are they chiming in?
They are, let's see, I haven't seen much. Here we go. We got John Dougal chiming in with 2 Eagles emojis. We got Mike Parker saying the Eagles will go on a run, and he is worried that Olsen just as much about McCaffrey. He thinks Olsen is going to try to get back into form. Then we got Spellman he's asking about the Sixers. Still want to jump off the bridge because of the Sixers.
We'll get on that later.
Later in the show. Then we got Jason Conklin saying Wentz's numbers are better this year in 4 games than they were last year in his first 4 games.
Wait, who said that?
Jason Conklin.
Don't go by stats. You have to go by watching the games. And by watching the games, his first great game was last week. So it's just how I see it. What else?
Then we got Mike Parker again saying the Panthers will forfeit. He flattened the tires on the team jet. Let's go. Then we got John Dougal once again. He says that the Eagles will win against the Panthers, then again in London, where he will be cheering them on, representing the Scottish Eagles fans.
That's awesome. That's a great trip. We always wanted to make that trip.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, right?
Maybe.
They were there again.
He's a little bit upset about Dak Prescott, not a good quarterback, and the Cowgirls are not a good team.
Disagree there.
Then he also says teams are always poor after the bye week. Well, they are. And then Chrome, he says, like last year, this game could be a launching point. Yes to the poll question.
Okay. All right, Chrome. This game could be a launching point, and it has to be a launching point. Because, like I said before, you lose this game, you're done. You're done. I don't care if there's half of the season to play. I don't care. You see the stretch outs coming up? We have the Cowboys twice. We have the Redskins twice. We have the Giants one more time. Who gives a shit?
Saints coming up.
We have the Saints coming up. We have Houston at the end of that schedule. We have all of these teams that are potentially better than us. It doesn't matter if it's home. Doesn't matter if it's away. You have to win these games you're supposed to win. And we did not do that against Tennessee. We did not do that against the Minnesota Vikings.
Even Tampa, but, I mean.
Even Tampa. Tampa's terrible now. Like, absolutely terrible.
I can see Tampa because, like, it was week 2. And,
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Patriots. They lost to the Lions in week 2 or week 3, whatever that was.
No, but that's because Matt Patricia knew Tom Brady, and he knew exactly
I mean,
what
you're
to
allowed.
expose.
I'll give you one fuck up, but we've already fucked up 3 times. Like I said, we have no room for error.
We have no room for error because in order to get not even a playoff berth, in order to be home for the playoffs, because with this team you have to be home for the playoffs. You can't be on the road. In order to get a 1 or 2 seed, you can't lose any more games. Like you can't. You have to be 13-3. Like you cannot
Potentially
lose.
1, maybe here and there.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe 1.
I mean, you're not going to sweep the division.
Like
You have to at least go 5-1 against the division, which is a lot to ask for right now.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys a question. If we go on the road in the playoffs, let's just say we get a wild card berth in the playoffs. Do you think we can win potentially 4 games on the road in the playoffs and win another Super Bowl? Because I don't.
I think it's too early to tell. You're jumping a little bit ahead of yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I've listen, guys. I've seen a lot of Eagles teams as of you, as is Frank Vespi. This team has no identity yet. Absolutely no identity. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what's going to show up. And tomorrow will be a huge character test.
Especially because it's been 10 days, too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that factors in, if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing. It might be a good thing to heal up from injuries, but like we said, the offense looked like they had some, cohesion or whatever. It was clicking.
Yeah.
And now taking that 10 days off, and it's going to be fucking cold out. So we'll have to see how everything goes.
And to me, I don't know. Like I was obviously at the game last week. Like to me, it just seemed like they let off the gas pedal. Like they could have scored a lot more if they wanted to, and they just were satisfied. And I don't know if I like that. I like teams that step on the pedal, stomp on your throat. I just don't think the Eagles. I thought they could have scored more last week, and they just let off. So I don't know.
I don't know. I guess that's your opinion. It's fine, but I don't know. I was satisfied with 34 points. I don't think we want to do anything stupid either, because we've seen when Doug tries to be too aggressive or make these boneheaded decisions, it can backfire. Especially with that fumble late in the game. Who knows if that was overturned or actually a fumble, what that could have led to. So like I said, it's a fresh start. You just beat a awful team, but a division game they needed to win on the road on Thursday night. Now you're coming back home to play a decent NFC team, and you have to win. You have to take care of business.
You have to. I agree. And I'm going to go over here on YouTube for a little bit.
YouTube comments, right?
Some YouTube comments.
Good old YouTube.
We got some Sixers. We actually got Jay the Goat says, who's the guy with Kyle on A2D?
Your boy Scotty,
Your boy Scotty. Yep, that's Scotty.
Every week.
Yeah, he's permanent now. And he's my permanent co-host. Eagles 01 says, I think we will win tomorrow. I do too. It is a huge game. We need to win. Afternoon, fellas, says Vester. Afternoon.
What's going on, man?
Okay. Alex Verucci says, are you serious? Dallas better than the Eagles? Are you out of your mind?
I don't think you said they were better, right?
I didn't say they were better. I said they were a good team. And a lot of people like to dismiss that. A lot of people, especially on this platform alone.
I mean, it's a Philadelphia platform.
I've seen I think there's like 5 or 6 shows on the platform, at least.
And everyone shits on Dallas.
Everyone shits on Dallas. And like
and they are Eagles fans.
I sit back and I listen, I understand. I hate Dallas as much as the next Eagles fan, but I sit back and I watch these games and I'm like, this team doesn't suck.
Well, yeah, if you're just watching last week, they looked like a fucking Super Bowl team.
Even against Houston, they didn't really suck. And Houston's another team that doesn't really have an identity. Like they could have won that game too.
Well, the thing is, with this league, it's all about wins or losses.
Yeah.
So if you win the game, you're going to the Super Bowl. If you lose, you're trash.
Right.
It's one or the other. It's one extreme or the other. So
yeah, I never said that Dallas was better than the Eagles. I just don't fucking know yet. Like, I just
Yeah,
can't.
nobody knows.
I have no idea. Like, the season is really early.
Oh, people are basing it off of last year,
Yeah.
right? Which, I mean, you
can't
can't blame
do
them,
that.
but
No, you
it's
can't.
not reality,
No, you
right?
cannot do that.
Mhm.
It's a new year. It's a new season. The NFL is way too unpredictable. It's a different year, guys. You got to move on from the Super Bowl.
And it's not
all right?
basketball either. It's
We're
not
going-
the NBA.
Guys, we are going for our second title, not our first. All right? We want more titles. We understand that. I understand that. He understands that. And Frank understands that. But you have to understand, you have to take one game at a time and realize that you have competition now. It's not as easy as last year.
And you hear it every week. Everyone's coming for our throat.
We have a target on our back.
Yep.
You know, that's what winning does for you. And the Patriots have that target every year, and they succeed. You know, do you
Well,
wanna-
they're used to it by now. Jesus.
No, they are. It's been like, what, 15 years now?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
All of Boston, right?
Yeah, Jay the Goat says, Eagles suck against mobile quarterbacks. Couldn't agree more. We have somewhat Cam's number. Yeah, that game in 2014, we destroyed them. I remember that one. And then when you beat a team missing key parts and a defense that gave up, Dallas scored 14 because Bortles wasn't bringing them back. They destroyed the Jags. I can't even defend that one. They fucking murdered the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars didn't show up.
No, they murdered the Jaguars.
Blake
Scott.
Bortles looked like, I don't even know, C.J. Beathard. Even though C.J. Beathard actually looked pretty good on Monday.
Yeah, he
but
almost won. Yeah.
The old C.J. Beathard, right?
Yeah, and then he said Houston is in shambles. Are you grading these teams the way you judge ours? Right now I'm grading our team in the middle of the pack just like everyone else. I'm being completely honest with you.
I think it's like right outside the top 10, 12, 11. I'm a
Yeah.
little more optimistic than you probably, but
No, it's not that I'm not. It's not that I'm not optimistic. I want to see more. Like I'm not like hoping something happens. I'm not saying I'm
yeah,
not.
you want to see the season play out.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
see more. Like tomorrow, we get that chance tomorrow to see what our team is actually made of because we're playing a good defense. We're playing a really freakish athlete in Cam Newton. We're playing McCaffrey, a potential MVP candidate. You know, I want to see.
Even though you don't think the Panthers are that good.
I don't like Ron Rivera. I think he's a very average head coach. I just think that they could be better with a different head coach. That's just what I think. But if you lose this game tomorrow, it tells me a lot that I've already known. So I hope it just changes my mind. How do you think Rasul will do at safety? He's playing safety tomorrow?
I guess so. I guess Maddox is playing slot.
Slot?
Because you have Sidney Jones out. I don't know. They looked pretty good last week. Again, they weren't tested by Eli because Eli can't throw the ball over 15 yards. But,
Yep.
I mean, we got to give him a shot, right? That's all we got. I'm worried about the depth if somebody goes down. That's one of my big concerns.
Yeah.
And that's where, trade talks come in or seeing what's on the scrap heap on the street. But
Right.
you got to roll with what you have now. And Rasul's a good player, very underrated.
Yeah.
He had a pick in the Falcons game week 1.
Listen,
came
he's
right
better
in.
than Jalen Mills. I'll give you that right now. Anyone's better than Jalen
Yeah,
Mills. Fucking
Schwartz-
Frank's better than Mills.
Schwartz just loves Mills for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't like Jalen Mills at all. Would you like to chime in on that, Vespi?
About the Goblin,
Yeah.
I got no comment since I'm an employee of the team.
All right.
Any criticism about players or the team in general, I have to be very careful.
So you're like Dave Spadaro, right? Pretty much.
Pretty much. I'm like Spuds.
Fair enough. That's all right. But
It's a good gig to have,
it's a great gig to have. You're working for the team you love. Nothing
Yep.
better than that, But
Unfortunately, I do not have any insider info.
Kyle, I
Yep.
don't know if he could ever sell his soul for that. I mean, maybe. Who knows?
I mean, see, would I like to work for the Eagles? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Okay. But like at the same time, like I don't know if
I don't know if I could see Kyle saying, "Have a great Eagles day."
if the team, no, I do it and then go like this when they turn around.
If you see that, you know what I'm talking
No.
about. You don't know he says that after every video.
Yeah. No. No, but no, like I said, I would love. It would be cool to work for the Eagles. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? But at the same time, it's like I don't know if I could keep my composure if the team was 8-8 and the head coach sucked.
Yeah.
I just know I
The
couldn't
passion would fly out,
Yeah,
right?
it would be terrible. But yeah, let's read some more. Is there anything else there on Facebook?
Let's see. On Facebook, we got Geraldine Jarrell saying, "Let's go EAGLES.
Let's go.
We got this swoop."
Swoop mascot.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
Swoop's kind of been forgotten about with Gritty. You
Because Gritty's the man.
yeah, Swoop needs to get in like a scandal or something, right? To fucking be talked about like Gritty.
Then we got Mike Royal chiming in
This
saying,
is definitely the Hooligans today. going off the rails here a little bit.
We got Mike Royal chiming in saying, have to stop McCaffrey and QB spy on Cam.
Absolutely.
Also says, let's worry about getting the division first.
I agree with that.
And then James Edgefield asking, do you guys think that another dynamic running back will make the Eagles better?
Absolutely.
It just takes pressure off of Wentz and the entire offense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with Le'Veon Bell, not only are you getting a star-studded back, you're helping Wentz, and you're getting a person that can block. So if you could add someone that could block to your offensive line, which is clearly in shambles right now, and I would rather have Jason Peters sit the bench and have Big V put in there. I know that's not a popular opinion, but it's true. I would rather have a player that...
No, just have Peters play for like a couple snaps and then, tap out, put Big,
Well, yeah, he does that anyway. He does that anyway.
I was being sarcastic.
The guy just needs to retire. It's just like, I love what Jason Peters has done, but Big V won us the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to putting Big V in there and then having him take over the rest
I think
of the
tackle
season.
might be your number one need in the draft, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. I mean, I don't even know.
Going back to the the running back situation a little bit, I did hear this week that Corey Clement is going to get the majority of the reps.
Well, he should. I mean, he's literally our only back right
Apparently,
now.
last week he was on like a snap count, so that's why. Because remember we were talking about that last show, how it should be Clement over Smallwood, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, nobody really likes Smallwood. He's just there. But I mean, Corey Clement is right now our feature back. I hate to break it to you.
Which I'm fine with, honestly.
Are you though?
I mean, obviously, I'd love to have Le'Veon, but they need to give this kid a chance.
We are giving him a chance.
Because every time they put him in a critical moment, he delivers.
Yeah, he's good. He's good, but he's not a feature back. I would like to have.
And why is he not a feature back?
He's just not a feature back. He's a role player. He's someone that is a team player. He steps up when you ask him to, but he can't carry the load.
Well, they've never given him that opportunity.
He can't do it.
They've never given because there's always been someone in front of him.
He can't do it.
It's only his second year on the team.
Yeah, I know that, but
he had Blunt, Ajayi in front of him before.
I just
Sproles even.
There's a reason why nobody picked this guy in the draft to be a feature back. All right, he just can't do it. All right, did you watch any film of him him at Wisconsin?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, he was decent.
Yeah, he's decent.
I know he's got like a couple like school records, right?
He's clutch. I'll give him that. Now, should we have kept LeGarrette Blunt? Yeah. I think we should have.
I mean, Ralph Delavecchio will always hammer this down week in and week out on the fix that the Eagles should have kept LeGarrette Blunt.
Yeah, definitely should have kept LeGarrette Blunt because
I think he's injured right now, though, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but I mean, if he was here on the Eagles, it might have been a different situation.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, J.J. going into the season, you already knew the guy was injury prone. And look, he's out with a torn ACL, one of the worst injuries you could have.
Clement reminds me just of like Carell Buckhalter, in my opinion.
See, the thing about Carell Buckhalter, everyone likes to compare players to Carell Buckhalter. Carell Buckhalter was mediocre. Like, he was just a back that got the job done at times, but you could never really rely on him. Like, I mean,
I feel like Carell Buckhalter, you only remember like his big runs.
Yeah.
And he had a decent amount, a couple seasons.
He had a big one against Dallas.
Was here. I think he was here like 8 years. People don't remember that. Like, he was here through almost the entire.
Because he was extremely forgettable. That's why nobody remembers him.
I mean, obviously Westbrook was the number one back, but.
Westbrook was amazing. Westbrook is my favorite running back in franchise history.
Jersey's right there.
Yep.
But I think you got to give Clement a shot, and they're giving him a shot because they don't have anybody.
Well, they
else,
have to give him a shot. It's not like you have to give him a shot. They need to give him a shot because he's the only thing they got. And we'll see tomorrow, guys. We really will. I'm excited. I got to see more from this team. It's going to be cold as fuck tomorrow, and I'm going to freeze my fucking balls off. But it's going to be a good time. Anything else over there on Facebook?
They're asking about. I know James Edgefield saying that he definitely likes Vaitai better at this point over Jason Peters.
Yes, definitely.
And he is also asking about what's the deal with Lane and with Lane Johnson on the O-line.
Lane's hurt. There's no way to deny that.
The O-line's been playing hurt. I mean, Wisniewski, he's been dealing with some hamstring issues, so you got to see an appearance by Isaac Seumalo. Yeah. And we know with Jason Peters, another year older, he's dealing with the biceps injury, dealing with knee problems. So
I guess they don't want to come out and say they're all hurt because I know
what the attack.
But it's really clear that they are playing hurt. So we might see some. I think it's getting closer to see some of those O-line draft picks like your Matt Pryor and the world famous Jordan Mailata making an appearance.
Yep.
It'll probably be this week, if not London. We might see them appear on the field.
Yeah, the booga 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 guy. Yeah, I can't wait to see that guy. You didn't see that in the fucking the preseason. He was like they called it a snap count. I was like ooh, a booga 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 or something.
No, I must have missed that.
Yeah,
I missed
Alright
that memo.
he's a rugby player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be seeing things. I don't fucking know, but
It would suck.
What?
Yeah, I think he came up that
Wow.
one on his own.
no, look it up on Google. Look up on Google a booga booga booga.
A
and it'll
booga
come up
booga
as a-
booga.
Yeah.
God,
Look
that
it
should
up.
be the new theme song
Say
for the Hooligans.
Eagles offensive lineman a booga booga booga. Yeah, look it up on Google. Then call me crazy.
I would say it would suck if Lane Johnson had to miss any time. Yes, he's not been playing like an all-pro,
Right.
but we know what his ceiling is,
Mm-hmm.
and he's our best offensive lineman,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I don't know about you. But
It does exist.
I told you.
I don't know how much of an oversight that is.
Yep. It's great.
Booga booga
Yep.
what preseason game was that
booga.
established in?
That was in
I guess
August.
week 1, right?
Yeah, I remember everything about the Eagles. I just remember everything. That was probably preseason week.
Yeah,
Two?
it was during the preseason, and then
Yeah.
and then apparently the strategy is if a guy jumps who's clearly offsides, you go ooga booga booga. And then, yeah. We got ooga booga booga. We got oogity boogity.
All right, I don't know how that's not a meme yet.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's because he's an undrafted. Well, was he undrafted in the
Seventh rounder.
Seventh round. Yeah, that's why. Like it's not kind of forgettable, but
You
okay.
remember everything.
Yeah, I remember literally everything.
Go back to some YouTube comments.
Yeah. Let me go back. No, he's not. He's not a co-host anymore, Alex.
We don't mention that name. Nah.
He who should not be named.
He should not be named. Jay the Goat said Scotty's voice is so soothing.
Wow,
I
thanks.
felt about it.
Is that a burner account or no?
I don't know.
Nah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And we just got Dexter Google back, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
I don't know how that's a storyline, but
Yeah. I mean, I kind of forgot about that one, to be honest with you.
has he played a snap in the regular
No, we
season
just got
before?
him.
No, I think
Yeah.
he was here like a year ago.
Yeah, he was here last year, but I don't think he did much.
Didn't they trade him to the Jets for
What was that?
or no, we traded for him because we traded
We
that
traded for
old
him.
old Ravens safety
Yeah.
Yeah.
or whoever that was.
Yeah, the old guy. We got anything else over there on Facebook?
Facebook, Jason Conklin saying Brandon Brooks is our best
I
lineman.
forgot about Brandon Brooks.
James Edgefield saying, do you think the secondary will be the downfall?
Absolutely.
For tomorrow's
Wait, who-
game or
wait,
the entire season?
I just get it as the downfall. Didn't specifically say for the year.
Let's just
or-
say tomorrow.
All right, for tomorrow.
All right, the downfall for tomorrow, yes, absolutely, because
I think it's just tackling in general.
if
right?
you don't get pressure on Cam Newton, he'll have all day to survey the field, and he'll get it to any weapon he chooses because our secondary is god-awful. It is terrible. It is one of the worst secondaries I've seen as an Eagles fan, and that's saying a lot because last year's secondary wasn't much better, actually, and we won the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
maybe the secondary doesn't really – it's not like the biggest part of our team, but our pressure isn't there this year, so that's concerning to me, you know, because last year our
All right,
pressure
he
was
said
there.
the season.
The season?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, it's either an injury or the secondary, right?
Injury or the secondary?
Like a too big of an injury to overcome.
Well, our pressure needs to be there. We have the best defensive line in
Yeah.
football, and they're not showing up. You know, when you need to show up game in and game out. You know,
I mean, look at the Ravens. They had 11 sacks last
Yeah.
week. We even had over
Against
10,
Tennessee.
we even had like over a 5-sack game, and I can't tell you how long.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But, yeah, someone in YouTube just asked me if I wanted Jordan Howard.
I think you said that last week, or someone mentioned that in the comments.
I don't want Jordan Howard. Right now, I don't even think he's the Bears' best back.
Yeah, Tariq Cohen.
I think Tariq Cohen's better. And, you know, could we get Jordan Howard cheap? Yeah, but at the same time, he doesn't really fit our scheme, and he's showing that he's regressing. So I don't think I'd want to take a shot on him. I don't know. I'm just not interested.
It's either go big or go home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for Le'Veon or.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you have the resources, you have the picks,
Uh-huh.
so I guess it's worth it just to throw a dart against the wall, even.
Yeah.
But
I want Le'Veon Bell. That's all I want. I mean, you could give me Shady McCoy at age 30. You can give me Jordan Howard at age 28, 29. prefer Le'Veon Bell. Like, that's the one guy I want because this guy.
It would complete the offense.
It would.
Yeah. You know.
It's just the way he runs.
how
You know,
good-
he
look how-
stops mid-stride, and then he finds another way to get around, and then he just bounces.
You know what's really
know?
underrated right now? How good Ertz is playing. Like, he's playing like
Yeah,
the
but
best tight end in the league.
Ertz isn't
Pretty
even
much.
Yeah,
He's
but-
having himself a historic season.
Yeah, but guys, let's be honest here. Ertz isn't a tight end. He's a wide receiver.
Which is, I mean, fine.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, it works. You know.
Yeah, I
He
know.
can't break tackles, but
No, he can't block.
I'm not
either.
gonna talk shit on him. He catches everything lately.
Yeah,
So.
he catches literally everything, which is why I love Zach Ertz. But he's more of a wide receiver to me because he can't block.
So you think that's why the run game struggles too?
Yeah,
'Cause he
pretty
can't
much.
block.
He can't block. Like, he literally cannot block. And that's a big problem. But, you know, it's doable, I guess. And then, is Dallas Goddard going to show up this week? You know, our second-round pick? Because I haven't seen much of him at all. And second-round picks are supposed to perform, especially when there's no pressure on you. When are you going to show up, Dallas? You know, maybe we do have to change your name after all because maybe it's a curse. I don't know. But you look fucking horrible.
And then looking at the comments right now, we got John Dougal, who's watching all the way from Scotland.
Scotland!
Wow,
Rise
shout
up.
out.
Good old Scotland the Brave.
Yeah.
And he also says he's never seen us before. He's quite enjoyed the last half hour so far.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
He's not in touch with the Philly chat. He's asking when we're on. And Mike Parker is helping us out a little bit over in the chat. But for you, John, we have shows almost every day of the week. We got this show, the Hooligans,
The
every
Fix.
Saturday at 1:00
Eastern time.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Then usually on Sundays we have the flagship Agree to Disagree. I think they're usually on at 9 at night, depending on if the Eagles win, how Tom's
How he's
feeling.
feeling, yeah.
Depends. Yeah, we haven't had much of an Agree to Disagree in the past couple weeks just because of the weather. We got a couple close Eagles losses.
Plus, you had the game on Thursday.
Plus
But,
Thursday
yeah.
night football playing a factor.
Yep.
Then we have on Mondays we have the Sports Hounds. They're live from 8 to 10 all Eastern Standard Time at night. Tuesday we have Birds of a Feather, another Eagle centric show. They're live at 8 to I'm going to say 10:30 to 11, depends on how much they decide to talk about. Also Eastern Standard Time. Then Wednesday we have The Fix.
Yep.
We're live from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Early show.
It's the early show, and then afterwards we have AM and the PM. They go off usually at 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock to 11:30 midnight. Then Thursday we have Lazy Booking, which is one of our wrestling shows. They're live from 7:30 to 9:30.
The hockey happy hour.
And the hockey happy
Yeah.
hour right after that from 10 to midnight.
Boom.
And then back to the Hooligans
on Saturday.
at 1 o'clock.
Deserve an applause after
Yep,
that. It's
deserves
all
an
in his head,
applause.
man. Damn.
Plus, we also have another wrestling show that
and Ritz.
Jack and Ritz in this very ring.
Yep.
Their shows are usually uploaded at 1 o'clock. And if you miss any of the shows, you can actually recap them on Facebook and on YouTube and on Instagram and on Periscope. So we are everywhere on the internet.
A2D is on the up.
We are
A2D
on the
family,
They're
right?
on the up. It's
So,
happening.
John, if you're watching in Scotland, there you go.
There you go.
Awesome.
Welcome to the family, Scott. Wait.
I'm thinking his name was John. He's from Scotland.
John from Scotland.
John from Scotland.
John from
Sorry about
Scotland.
that. There you go. Oh, shit.
I think he had too much Red Bull today.
Yeah, just a little bit. Actually, this one popped up on Facebook. James Edgefield said Ertz blocking has gotten better.
Better than when he was a rookie, but, I mean,
Yeah.
he's no Brent Selleck, right? Blocking, as far as blocking goes.
Yeah, and he also said we'll have to address our secondary in the draft. It's not much you can really do. I mean, you have
Right.
to really do a rehaul of the
I
secondary.
mean, we just drafted how many corners?
Yeah, we drafted a lot regarding the secondary. I think you got to focus now on the linebackers core,
tackle. Yeah.
tackles. I mean, as much as I don't want to tackle in the first round, I mean, we do have plenty of that kind of
Yeah.
depth, but I would not be.
really.
I mean, you
guess
have
got
some.
Big V. Who else?
Well,
who else is your depth?
on the defensive side of the
Defensive.
ball.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're stacked on the defensive line.
Yeah, we're stacked on the defensive line.
Timmy Jernigan's not even back yet.
We're pretty much thin on linebackers, and I mean, you still have Jordan Hicks, who is still great, but you're still worried about
Injuries.
the injuries. Then Nigel Bradham's getting older, so that's not helping a little bit. And then other than that, you just have guys that mainly specialize on special teams. Like you have your Camu Grugier-Hill, you have Nate Gary, both special teams guys. I just don't rely much.
It looks like best player available, right?
At this point, it's best player available, but it also depends on what they're going to do with that first round pick. It all depends on where they land. If they somehow, with if being emphasized, if they manage to win the Super Bowl, then yeah, at this point it's best player available. But if you're somewhere in between the 20s, which a lot of the mock drafts have us at, it's probably going to be either a running back, someone on the defensive side of the ball. That's mainly the two big positions. And we also have those 2 second-rounders as well. That could also be a factor on, hey, maybe we can get 2 draft picks in the first round. So maybe we can get our defensive side of the ball and our offensive side of the ball in the first round. So it all depends on where we land. It also depends on that Ravens pick as well.
That might be another reason why Howie hasn't made a move, because he knows for the future this team does need not like an overhaul, but like a depth overhaul.
Yeah, but you can't play too much for the future. Like if you see a star like Le'Veon Bell just sitting there, you need to go up and get him. You have 11 picks next year, all right? Mortgage some of the future to go get a star and win as many titles as you can right now. Because, yes, we have one. It's great, but now we want a lot more. We want to compete with the best. You can't just say, let's wait on the future and see what happens. You're done doing that. We did that for, 50-plus years? You're here to win now. And you need to be the GM that we think you're not. You know what I'm saying? Now, personally, I think Howie Roseman, and I've said this time and time again, I think Howie Roseman is extremely overrated. Now, what do I mean by that? I think Howie Roseman fell into a Super Bowl. Now, a lot of people like to give him credit for putting it together, orchestrating our first Super Bowl championship ever. But you're forgetting one guy. Once we brought in Joe Douglas last year, who won.
He's been here 2 years, 2016.
He's been here 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. He was 1 year, 2 years. Okay, whatever. So he also helped orchestrate a Baltimore Ravens championship. All right? Then we bring him in for help, and coincidentally not, he comes in and wins us the championship.
Yeah, it's still crazy how fast it happened.
Yeah,
definitely.
Especially
it's
from
surreal.
The state of the team that Chip Kelly left us in.
Yeah.
And you got to give Howie a lot of credit for trading away a lot of these contract crutches.
Right.
You have your DeMarco Murray.
He's a cap guy.
And your Ryan Matthews and Kiko Alonso.
Especially if you go
Byron Maxwell.
Especially a couple of years back. I mean, with Dream Team, that's pretty much 2 cap hells.
Yeah.
Like within 5 years.
I'll give Howie Roseman credit on that one. He is a cap guy. He's a numbers guy. He's a very smart guy when it comes to money. But is he a smart guy when it comes to acquiring talent?
Yeah, that was the big thing, especially when the last draft before Chip Kelly took over, Howie was mainly the guy making those calls.
Yeah.
And
we know he can't draft. We know that.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think that's official.
Yeah.
Now, as far as his free agency goes, it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because he did bring in a lot of great players and pieces last year. LeGarrette Blount, Patrick Robinson, just to name a few.
Well, most of them were low-risk, high-reward type players, though. Like
Even but the years prior, he missed on a ton of those.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's like a squirrel finds a nut eventually. Like, Patrick Robinson was great for our scheme. Like, he was perfect.
Even though he sucked for how many years before last year.
Yeah, he was with the Colts. I remember that. But, I mean, he was really good for us. I was actually pissed when we got rid of him because I thought that he played very well for us.
We didn't really get rid of him. The Saints just came
They
in. and gave
overpaid,
him a
yeah.
They
5-year
overpaid him.
deal.
They paid over
another
the top,
another
yeah.
one that's hurt, so who knows,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, but LeGarrette Blount, we brought him in for, what was it, like a year?
It was a year.
It was, I don't know how much it was for like 5. Year
Yeah.
5. Yeah, we brought him in for a year, and we were like, yeah, why not? Let's go for it right now. And it worked out, but, those were kind of low-risk, high-reward.
Well, that's what we're saying this year. The issue is depth.
Yeah.
And that's natural to happen after you win a Super Bowl. I mean, everyone's going to sign your players. We're actually lucky we didn't lose more. I mean, how many starters did we really lose? Maybe 3 I can think of. Did Vinny Curry start last year? I don't even remember.
I think he started a couple games. I know he was put in the rotation here and there. Him, Bo probably got a couple snaps here and there.
Yeah. I mean, Vinny Curry to me, like he was definitely replaceable, as is Brendan Graham, and that's going to be something you're going to have to
That's
look at.
That's the other issue is like, can you find a way to restructure or sign Brandon Graham to an extension while you still have Carson Wentz on his rookie contract? That extension is coming up soon, and I think they're going to pick up that 5th-year option. But it's now, what are we going to pay Carson? How much are we going to pay him? And part of me says that he's going to be the first ever $200 million quarterback.
It's almost a nightmare.
But
it's almost a nightmare.
it's a nightmare. It's like a dream that will turn into a nightmare.
It's the modern day NFL. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way getting around it. You have to be realistic.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you're going to pay the guy that wins you games, though.
Yeah.
Like you
And
have
that's why
to.
even this coming off season is probably going to be one of the hardest as far as decisions
Right.
go. I mean, you've so many older players. I mean, like Michael Bennett, 1-year deal. Haloti Nada, one. Like,
those,
they won't be back.
I don't know if Chris Long is. I think this is the end of his contract as well,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Our team's going to go
So
away.
that goes back to your point. Like, it is win now mode.
Yeah.
So do what you have to do. Bring
Right.
in
You have
who you can bring in.
You have the opportunity to win it this year. You do.
You do.
Right now, it doesn't look like you're even close to that. But you can fix and bring in the pieces to make that happen. Now, if you go get a Le'Veon Bell, you're putting yourself over the top immediately.
Right.
Like, you're like, we're going to kick some ass. We're going to go through
Especially
the
on
playoffs
offense. My
and
God.
get back. There's no one on that AFC side, well, besides the Chiefs, that scares me.
Patriots.
Okay.
They don't scare you, but
They don't scare me.
They-
We beat them.
they are who
don't
they
scare
are.
me.
Yeah.
We beat them. And the Chiefs, now, I will say this. If there were one team I'd be a little worried about on the AFC side of the ball, it would be the Chiefs.
they have our number 2.
And they have Andy
Yeah.
Reid. Andy Reid would have his vengeance against us and finally win a Super Bowl. That'd be kind of weird, right?
That would just be an insane Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
very interesting.
You know,
Yeah, it'd be fun.
it would be.
I'd be down for that. Because Carson Wentz versus Pat Mahomes. Woohoo!
That'll be fun.
That'll be an over.
That'll be a very entertaining, probably high-scoring game,
Yeah.
and especially how
Heart-wrenching.
how those two defenses are. Man,
The worst defenses ever. And then two guys that
Yeah.
can throw the ball.
two
very
guys that
far.
can sling it, both extremely talented quarterbacks.
It's like a dream come true.
I know. We'll probably see Madden numbers if,
Yeah.
if that were to
yeah,
happen.
you
a
thought
Chiefs
last
Eagles
year's
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl was
Yeah.
a lot,
That was pretty
imagine,
high,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, that was crazy.
And even the Eagles aren't fully healthy yet, and we haven't made another move by the trade deadline yet. And
Yeah.
if we make a huge move, say we do get a Le'Veon Bell and Matt
just-
Collins gets healthy and
there's so
everybody
many-
else gets healthy,
yeah. There's so
it's
many
gonna be
moving.
crazy.
There's so
Yeah.
many moving parts still to be
Exactly.
determined.
Well, I think Howie's relying too much on Carson Wentz. I think he's doing what a lot of people in Philadelphia are doing right now, and they're like, Carson Wentz is this good that he can carry a team by himself. And
It's just because running back is so underrated today. People think that you can just throw anyone in there.
Yeah.
yeah,
But when you have a top 5 running back,
Yeah.
it makes it a hell of a lot easier.
like
you
you're gonna
know?
tell me with Carson
Like,
Wentz
yes,
and
Ken-
Le'Veon Bell
and-
they won't win more
And
games.
that's how Pat Mahomes is succeeding in Kansas City right now. He has a really good receiver in Tyreek Hill. He's got one of the best tight ends in Travis Kelce. He's got Kareem Hunt, who's playing lights out.
They have a team. Yeah.
They have a very complete core.
Mhm.
So that's why you're seeing all these monster performances from Mahomes week in and week out.
Takes so much pressure
Yeah.
off.
Even at Gillette,
You know what's
last week,
pretty
they
sad?
put 40 points.
Yeah.
How bad Eli looks, but he has Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Imagine if
That's-
we had Saquon Barkley. You tell me that. I wanted him,
Insane.
but
Oh, and James Edgefield, when talking about other teams, don't forget about the Rams.
Yeah, we have forgot about the Rams a
the
little
reason,
bit.
all right, I'll say this right here, right now, James. The reason why I forgot about the Rams is because I already have them labeled as the number one seed.
They're like in a league of their own.
yeah, I already have them labeled. We're talking about
Even though they've
teams-
played closer in recent weeks.
we're talking about teams that are competing with each other. There's the Rams, and then there's everyone else. You
Right.
know, now in the playoffs, there's that one game elimination where you can beat the Rams, and even though they're the better team, you could just beat the better team on that day. And you know, that's where we always got fucked as Eagles fans growing up because we were always the better team, but we lost a one-game elimination.
Right.
Now the Rams, the reason why I'm not talking about the Rams is because they're good. They're really
They
good.
are definitely in
Yeah.
pole position to be the NFC contender.
Yeah.
It all depends on where everybody else falls in the playoff push. But the Rams, yeah,
it wouldn't- it wouldn't
the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Hollywood.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me though if they go one and done.
Yeah.
Just because they've
'Cause
been
it's the playoffs.
favored so high,
Yeah.
and you're on that winning streak and you never lose. That's why even like last year when we lost to the Seahawks and
happened
we
with
had
the-
those couple losses, sometimes it's good for your
It
team.
happened to the Patriots so many times I couldn't even tell you. They lost to the Jets, being 15-point favorites at home to Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez. They lost. They lost to the Ravens when the Ravens went to the Super Bowl at home, and it can happen. It's a one-game elimination.
Yeah.
That's why the NFL is so tricky to figure out. Because
what
you
what
just
makes it so
don't
good and
know.
entertaining too,
Yeah.
you know?
You know, every single year, like you look at the Vegas odds going into the year, and the Patriots, they might be the favorites, but they're still plus 550. You know, if you put $100 down, you'll get 550 back. That's how unpredictable it is for the NFL. It's ridiculous, and that's why it's the best league, and it'll never go away. They got to stop with the rule changes though, because
Oh yeah,
it's pissing me off. But you know,
It's
still
definitely hurting the game, yeah.
yeah.
big time. Anything else over there on Facebook?
Facebook says James Edfield back. He says cool, but he hates it. But
But
you
you're
are
right.
right.
Yeah.
And then Justin D'Amico saying the Saints gonna beat the Rams. Watch.
Saints gonna beat the Rams.
I guess it depends who's at home and who's away,
Yeah.
right?
Assuming if it's a playoff, assuming it's a playoff game, it's probably gonna be through LA.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't know with this Rams team. I mean, yeah, they're amazing, but we just don't know with all these personalities on the team. Like you're Ndamukong Suh, you have Aqib Talib,
They have a lot of talent.
a lot of talent. But then with those talents come with a lot of personality, and
Yep.
they haven't seen the personality clash yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be from this point on, leading into the playoffs,
Yep.
that we could see this team fall apart. But we don't know.
We just don't
And the
know.
quarterback and coach are really young. Yes, they've been exceptional since they've been in the league together. But, you know, don't look at them last year. They lost to Atlanta in the wild card game. Yes, this is a better team with more talent, but like you said, anything
Yeah.
can happen.
Yeah, and then
One game
well,
elimination.
when Wentz goes back to Hollywood, Hollywood.
Sunday night game, that should be a great game.
Yeah,
It's gonna be the best game of the year. By
if
far.
not the game.
If not the game, of the year. Like, I mean, you're having Wentz go back where he tore his ACL, going back to the Rams, where that could be up for the number 1 seed. You never know. And that would be, I just hope that we don't ruin this, because if
Such a great storyline,
If-
right?
Yeah,
if we're a good team and they're a great team at the time and we beat them and we get number 1 seed in the playoffs,
I had that
it'd
as a
just be
win
so
coming into the
good.
year.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think the Rams would be this good,
yeah.
right.
but we did it last year.
The Rams, hot take right here. Right now, I have the Rams going 16-0. I have the Rams going 16-0 right now.
Yeah.
They're going to trip up somewhere.
It's. I mean, you have New Orleans in 3 weeks.
Let's take a look at their schedule.
I got their schedule up. Let's see. They got San Fran. That's a lock.
The past 2 weeks they've played close games.
They play close games.
They've only
yeah.
won. They barely beat
Yeah.
Seattle,
Yeah,
and then
at Century Field.
and then
Century Lake
Denver they
Field.
won by 3.
Yeah.
I thought that Denver game could have been an upset. That was like in the snow. It was
Yeah.
freezing out, but they
And
pulled
they
that
handled
out.
their business.
And they did in the snow, which usually with
Yep.
a warm weather team that doesn't
It's
happen.
scary.
Let's see. San Francisco. That's
Lock.
probably going to be a lock.
They play San Francisco twice.
Yeah. Green Bay.
Arizona twice.
I think they already played Arizona once.
Yeah, the next one's at Week 16 at Arizona. This is the first game against the Niners this upcoming week. Then they host Green Bay. Then they're at the Superdome against New Orleans, which I think could be their first loss at this
Yeah.
point.
There's no way they beat the Packers, Saints, and Eagles. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Well, let me just put that right out here right now. Packers, Saints, and Eagles, they could definitely beat all those teams. You want to know why? Packers aren't a good team. All they have is Aaron Rodgers. Last week they should have lost.
They
to
should have
San Fran.
lost, but
Yeah,
It's
but
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers
he's amazing.
somehow works his magic.
Yeah, he was on.
Can't never
ton-
count them out with
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
He was on a ton of painkillers again. The Saints are not better than the Rams. I don't care what anybody says, and the Eagles you just don't know. So
Yeah,
those are the 3 teams. Maybe we can give them a loss, but if we don't,
They don't play the Vikings, right?
They do.
They beat the Vikings.
Yeah, they did beat 38.
Oh,
31.
yeah.
That was
they
that.
already
that
played them, yeah.
yeah.
You know, I could see them going 16-0.
And that secondary, I mean, it's suspect at best without Talib and Peters. So that could definitely be a factor going in later this season.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because that's why we don't bring up the Rams, because the Rams are
They're in a league of their own right now.
They remind me so much of the New England Patriots in 2007.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one could beat the Pats because they were so good.
And then when it came to the Super Bowl, that aging defense got exposed.
Yep.
And their division all of a sudden sucks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're just clearly the best team in their division.
Exactly. And it's not even.
I mean,
close.
you have two teams that might not win 4 games.
No.
You know.
Yeah, it's scary. And you know what? A lot of people. This is why I'm so happy you won the Super Bowl last year, because
so hard to
you
win.
never know when it's going to come around again. And we've been waiting a long time. We deserved it, but now I want more. And the GM's got to step up. The whole team's got to step up. The ownership's got to step up and say, like, listen, this is win now mode. You're in a prime position. You're not that far away from these teams to where you can't go over them. Go get a talent like Le'Veon Bell and show that you're the best team in the league and you're nothing to fuck with. That's just how I see it,
And it could be a case, too, where, you did lose, you lost 2 coaches, lost some depth players. It might just take time to get the whole team together.
Right.
The cohesion and everything. So
yeah, big time. Anything else over there on Facebook?
Facebook. James Edfield replying to Justin's comment about the Saints, saying the Saints are dangerous, but they're like us, no defense. John Dougal found it hilarious with that Saints comment. And then James Edgefield asking again, is it him or does it seem like the great offensive teams struggle on defense?
Great offense. Well, the reason why great offensive teams
because all the money's on offense.
No, not only that. The reason why great offensive teams struggle on defense is because, number one, great offensive teams tend to score very quick. All right? And what happens is when offenses score quick, the defense is out there for most of the game. And they get gassed, and they don't try as hard because they're like, oh, we got to preserve energy because we're going to fucking score again. We're going to be out there for another long drive, So they try to preserve their energy. Like when Chip Kelly was here, like when we would go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. The defense would be on the field for 40 minutes out of the game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's so hard to play defense in this league anymore anyways. I mean, can you even name 3 good defenses?
It's a passing league, yeah.
I mean, besides the Ravens.
The Broncos have a great defense.
Yeah, look, they're, 3 and 4?
But they have Case Keenum. They have Case Keenum, though.
Case Keenum's the crutch.
I
mean, Jacksonville's another one, but Blake Bortles is another
yeah.
crutch, yeah.
But, I'd say the top 3 defenses.
I don't know. You give up 40 points to the Cowboys and you great defense. I'm telling you, there really is not a lot of good.
They're not a good road team. That's the issue with the Jags.
There's not a lot of good defensive teams anymore.
I will actually. I know they had a blunder last week, but I'll say the Bears. I think the Bears are.
They should have won that game.
Yeah, I think the Bears.
This game against New England tomorrow should be really interesting.
I have them winning
too.
I have the Bears beating New England.
Wow.
That's ballsy to make that pick.
Well, before the season, I think it was Frank that was here. I said as my dark horse, I had the Bears making the playoffs, and it was They didn't have Mac at the time. But
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have Mac at the time, but I thought that they were one of those dark horses because I did like Mitch Trubisky. He's not playing that well right now, but I do like Mitch Trubisky. I think he's a solid QB when he gets protection.
That division's so unpredictable because all the NFC North, all of those teams can beat each other. Even the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been decent. They just beat the Packers before they went on their bye week. So
the Lions aren't shit, but I mean, it's just.
I think they can steal one from the Bears, definitely.
Probably it's a divisional game, But I just think that like you said, offensive teams don't usually have a good defense because the offensive teams score quick and the defense is always out there to drive.
And the offensive changes like. New playbooks are coming in, so they got to adjust to these. Once these players get drafted, they have to build these brand new playbooks to adjust to those games. You're gonna see more of these spread offense, air raid quarterbacks coming in. So those veteran coaches have to adjust those playbooks to accommodate them.
It makes more sense because all the rules are favoring the offense too. Why would you not put more of your effort into the offense and the defense?
Right.
It's just the way of the league now.
No, I agree, but yeah, so that'll pretty much end this half of the show. We are going to take it on the other side. We will talk Sixers, Flyers, anything else. And,
got our picks too, right?
If you're on Facebook, come over to the YouTube. It'll be the second half of the show, and we will be ready to rock and roll. So stay tuned.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What is up, everybody? We are back in the second half of the Hooligans. This is brought to you by Scazano Sports Center, 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 856-889-3434, ScazanoSports.com. All right. We're back with NFL picks. You got the schedule up?
Got the schedule, got the games. You ready to go through this?
Yep, let's go.
Awesome. Alrighty. NFL is back in London,
Okay.
9:30 a.m. So get ready for an early game. Titans and Chargers.
Titans and Chargers?
Yes, sir.
Give me – wait, where is it?
It's in London.
It's in London?
It's in London. Both teams. Chargers come from the West Coast. Titans come from Nashville.
It's London.
Chargers have a top 5 offense versus the Titans' top 5 defense.
Who do you got?
This is like a weird game. I mean, I feel like all London games are weird.
Mhm.
You're traveling, what, how many thousands and thousands of miles?
Well, for L.A., it would be 12 hours. And for Tennessee, it would be around 10. So
It's our first London game of the year, so we don't know how teams are going to play. I'm going to take the Chargers here. They're a very underrated team. I feel like no one's talking about them, even though they've put together some good wins recently. They're 4-2.
right.
Phillip Rivers over Marcus Mariota, Melvin Gordon, Keenan Allen. I'm taking the Chargers. It should be a shootout because the Titans have been shitty lately. Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Chargers as well. You know, the Tennessee Titans, I don't think they have what it takes to go over to London after getting absolutely smashed at home to the Baltimore Ravens. The Chargers look like a decent team.
Chargers are favored by 6.5.
Yeah, give me
too.
the Chargers.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the point spread. Give me
Yeah,
the
I'll
Chargers.
give you some lines here, too.
I'll take the Chargers as well.
Chargers.
yeah.
We're
That
on board.
run game is going to be a huge
Melvin
factor.
Gordon.
Melvin
Yeah.
Gordon. Luckily, I have him on a fantasy team, and I think I'm facing you this week in
You
fantasy.
are. You are.
Shit.
So
I gotta put it together because you know you have a pretty solid team. I think you lost one game this year.
I lost last week
Last week.
Oh,
because of
what a
Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
shame. Monday
Screw
night
me over.
special, right?
Well, lucky
Yeah.
me. Mark Ingram's back, but
Yeah.
Antonio Brown's out, so it's kind of like a switcheroo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if that balances itself out. But.
We'll figure
Hopefully.
it out. Yeah, we'll see. What's the next game?
All right, next game. We are in Tampa Bay. The Browns come to town. Tampa Bay a 3.5 favorite, 1 o'clock game.
Tampa
This
Bay.
game could go either way.
Wait, so what was it again? I'm sorry.
Browns-Bucks.
Browns, Bucks?
In Tampa.
Give me the Browns. I'm gonna take the Browns this week. The reason being is because the Browns have looked absolutely shitty the last 3 weeks.
No, they beat the Ravens 2 weeks ago.
No, they didn't.
They did.
No, they didn't. They did.
Who they lost last week? Who'd they lose to? I forget.
They
they lost to the
badly
Chargers.
The Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost
But
to
they
the
beat the Ravens. Seemed like a decent team. Back to the Chargers. Like, but if they're 5-2, they got to be like the least talked about 5-2 team.
because
ever.
nobody cares about them.
I mean, they're a good team, but
Yeah.
I feel like the Chiefs just own that division. All right, so back to Browns-Bucks. I
The
will take.
marquee game of the week.
It's like both teams need a win. The Buccaneers have just completely fallen off.
I don't think they care anymore.
after that
Yeah.
Fitzmagic. They just fired Mike Smith. the
This is how I
defensive
summarize
coordinator.
this game. The Browns are my lock of the week. The reason why I say this, the Buccaneers have given up on this season. The Buccaneers don't care anymore. Their secondary is awful.
Yeah.
One of the worst in the league.
They haven't made the playoffs since 07.
Yeah,
too.
and at this point, we could see the end. Jameis Winston. We could see the end of Dirk Cutter as the head coach. I mean, I said this leading on some episodes of the Fix that this could be the end of the Dirk Cutter era. Especially going to last year, you thought this team was going to be a wild card team at best, but they definitely shit the bed on this one.
They played decent against the Falcons last
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
but this is like the most projected dumpster fire team.
Basically,
You know, it seems so. Their schedule gets tough from here on out too.
Absolutely.
So I'm taking the Browns too.
I'll take the Brownies.
Yep, Brownies. Okay.
Next game, we got kind of like an underrated matchup. Vikings at the Jets. 1 o'clock. Minnesota favored by 3.5. The Jets are a weird team. I picked them to lose 2 weeks in a row, and I've been wrong about them. I feel like they don't really have an identity, but they beat two shitty teams, the Broncos and the Colts. But give me the Vikings. They're just clearly the better team than the Jets here.
The Jets aren't better than us. I'm taking Minnesota.
I'll take Minnesota.
Yep.
The Jets defense, although they definitely dominate on Indianapolis, I just think it's going to be tougher against that receiving core that Minnesota has.
Kirk Cousins loves to beat up on shitty teams, doesn't he?
Yep,
That's when he excels.
He likes that.
400-yard games.
He likes that.
Yeah. Next up, we got Lions at the Dolphins. Dolphins coming off a pretty big overtime win.
Who's starting at QB?
I think
Probably Brocktober, right?
It's Osweiler.
I can't stand him.
Detroit favored by 3 on the road, coming off a bye week.
Detroit. Give me Detroit.
I like Detroit too in that game, but this is a toss-up.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Can you
though?
really see the Dolphins being 5-2 though? That's insane.
Oh, not with Brock Osweiler. Like, it's not happening. If Matt Patricia could stop Tom Brady, he's gonna stop Brock Osweiler.
Yeah.
And they beat Aaron Rodgers. Their 2 wins are against Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, the Lions. So that's
Crazy,
kind of
right?
crazy. You give the Lions too?
I'll take the Lions.
Lions as well. Alrighty, Patriots at the Bears. Probably the best 1 o'clock game.
Chicago.
New England only favored by 3 on the road.
2.5 now.
I'm taking the Patriots. First pick that we disagree on.
Okay.
Patriots coming off probably the biggest win of the season against the Chiefs. Yes, it was at Gillette Stadium, but they got the job done. They won by 3.
Right.
I think the Bears have had, probably the most unpredictable start to the season, but I think they come back down to reality a little bit. I think they'll still be a decent team, a tough out for a lot of teams, but I'm taking the Patriots.
Right.
I think they're about to go on a roll.
All right, and I completely disagree with your pick, Scotty, because the Chicago Bears are for real, guys. Buckle down, grab your popcorn. This team is making a run to the playoffs. Mitchell Trubisky will get better week by week. Khalil Mack was one of the best pickups I've ever seen out of any team ever, period. Thank you, John Gruden. This Bears team is going to smack the living shit out of the New England Patriots. The Patriots
I'd
are
be
living.
shocked.
The Patriots are living on their high right now after beating probably the best team in football other than the Rams at home. They're like, oh, we could beat anybody now. No, 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 no. Khalil Mack is going to put Tom Brady into the dirt 6 times tomorrow. It is not going to be fair. I'm saying he's getting 6 sacks. He's going to put him into the dirt 6 times tomorrow. Not going to be fair. Absolute lock. Chicago Bears win this game 35-14.
All right.
I'm going to go with New England on this one.
Okay.
Good,
I think they're going to find their way to beat Khalil Mack. I just don't think
the Bears they're just not
they're not there yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But if Mitchie Poo and that offense manages to get it all together, I'll be very surprised. It'll be probably one of the biggest upsets this season.
If they win by 3. I don't see any blowouts there.
Yeah, no. What's the next one?
Probably the stinker of the week, Bills Colts, and somehow the Colts are favored by 7.5 at home.
Because the Bills stink, and Nathan Peterman.
Bills have played. They've been a tough out in recent weeks, but they do have Nathan Peterman. Colts are due for a win. I'll take the Colts. Keep that short and sweet.
Yep, Colts.
Yeah, give me the Colts, and I think more problems are going to rise in that Bills locker room. I know Shady McCoy was talking about the Peterman.
Is he starting or someone else? I think someone else.
It's Derek Anderson.
Yeah, it's Derek Anderson.
I completely forgot that Derek Anderson was still in the league. I mean, everybody remembers that one year he had on the Browns, and then he just dropped off the face of the earth for a little bit.
So he's their 3rd string quarterback.
Yeah.
I always remember Derek. Yeah, he's behind Nathan Peterman. It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
I remember that time where Derek Anderson was on the Cardinals, and they called him smiling on Monday Night Football. And they were like, what was with you smiling when you were getting blown out?
And he went off on someone.
And then he was like, I wasn't smiling. There's nothing to be funny about. It's so funny. Go look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
That.
That's the one time I remember of Derek Anderson, which is pretty bad.
And then riding the pine alongside Cam Newton for 7 years.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
All right, moving on from that. We got Texans at the Jaguars. Jaguars favored by 4. Both teams at 3-3. Pretty much a must-win for both. The winner of this game will be in first place in the AFC South. Let you go pick first, Kyle, on this one.
Wow, 4?
4 for the Jags. I'll probably take the Jags. They need to bounce back after that travesty last week. And the Texans, yes, they're on a 2-game win streak, but they have clear problems on the offensive line.
Yeah. And they did acquire Carlos Hyde as well, so that's going to be a new addition.
Big. Yeah, because Fournette's out, right?
Yeah, Fournette's out. traded Carlos Hyde for like
A fifth-round
a
pick.
fifth rounder.
Mhm.
You know what? I saw the Jaguars last week get completely destroyed. They're coming back home. Give me the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jags too.
Yeah.
I'll
Just
take the Jags.
Seems like a natural bounce back game.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know if the Texans scare anybody right now.
Nah, not right now.
All right, moving on. Probably the best game of the week, in my opinion. Saints at the Ravens. This game's at 4:05
Give me the Ravens.
in Baltimore.
Ravens.
Winner of this game's gonna have 5 wins. Ravens are favored by 2.5. I'll take this. I'll take the Saints. Coming off the bye week, a lot of time to prepare for that game.
Their
Ravens
defense is good, man. That Ravens defense is good.
And that Saints defense is not too great either.
Flacco tore apart the Pittsburgh Steelers on
They
Sunday Night
did.
Football.
Ravens are a little inconsistent though. Lost to the Browns that one week. I'm riding with the Saints.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take Baltimore on this one.
Yeah.
I think somebody when we did the fix on Wednesday, I think somebody said Saints over Ravens. I thought he was crazy, but you know I'll take the Ravens.
It's probably the hardest.
Or Ravens over Saints, whatever that guy said. Ravens over Saints, he said. I thought he was crazy. I said, give me the Ravens.
Yeah, give me the
Oh.
Ravens.
Probably the hardest game of the week to predict.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I don't know. Like, I mean, that Baltimore Ravens defense is ridiculous.
These are 2 Super Bowl contenders. We can
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, moving on. Cowboys at the Redskins. Probably our second most important game to watch this weekend. This is a 4:25 game.
America's Game of the Week.
Redskins. Well, it's actually on CBS. I don't know what they call that shit, but the Redskins favored by 1.
Yeah.
This is a true
Oh my
toss-up.
God! Please don't do this to me.
I'm taking the Redskins
It's
at home.
you know this is the biggest rivalry too, right? The Redskins
yeah, the
and Cowboys.
Cowboys own the rivalry, but
Yeah.
Redskins are just playing better. They're a more solid team, constructed, and I think Alex Smith is probably better than Dak, just in my opinion, not by much, but I think the Redskins are just due. Cowboys coming off that big emotional win, Conor McGregor fucking punching everybody, getting them all hyped up.
I don't want to do this.
You're taking the
I
Cowboys,
don't want
aren't
to do
you?
this. I'm taking the Cowboys. Yep.
This is the definition of a pick 'em.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely a toss-up. As much as I want Washington to win, for some reason Dallas is going to get the win.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I have Dallas winning, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dallas has won like the last 6 of 7 against the Redskins too.
Yeah.
But I think the Redskins break the streak. I'm taking the Skins.
All right. What's the next
All right,
one?
next game we got Rams at the 49ers. Don't have to say much
Rams.
here.
Rams.
Rams are favored by 9.5. I think that should be a little
In
higher.
San Fran?
Yeah. I
Nice.
think it should be over 10, but whatever.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football. Bengals at the Chiefs. This
Chiefs.
Bengals on prime time. Don't usually show up. But
Yep.
this game was flexed to Sunday Night Football, so for whatever that's worth. Chiefs are favored by 6.
That's it.
Taking the Chiefs.
That's it.
Yeah.
6 on Sunday Football at home. That's it.
At Arrowhead.
Bengals are a decent team, but
Yeah.
Holy shit, guys! I got another lock for you.
Chiefs over Bengals.
Absolutely not.
Taking the Bengals?
Listen, right here, right now.
Is this where the Andy Reid collapse begins?
Come back to me next week when I called this one. The Bengals will upset the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. It is only 6 points at Arrowhead. Only.
You love lines.
I follow them religiously. It's only 6 points.
It's 6 points.
It's
That's
6
it?
points.
So if you put a teaser up, a 10-point teaser, it would lose. If you picked the
You're
Chiefs.
not giving the Bengals any respect. I mean, you're not giving the Bengals any respect, though. I feel like I don't know.
I think the Bengals are a decent team. I don't think they're
so
bad.
why isn't a 6-point line fine? You think it should be like 3?
No, if you're looking based off of Pat Mahomes and you're looking off of what's been happening, they're throwing up points. It should be like a 10-point spread.
That's a little high for
I don't
for a
think
4-2 team. The Bengals almost beat the Steelers last week.
I'm taking
Beat
the
the Ravens.
I'm taking the Bengals.
Taking the Chiefs, bounce back. They almost beat New England. I'm not gonna say they should have beat New England because of course Andy Reid fucked up. No timeouts left. Clock management.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I'm taking the Chiefs. They're still, if not the best team in the AFC, they're right behind the Patriots.
Gotcha.
In my opinion. All right, Giants and Falcons, Monday Night Football. Atlanta favored by 4. Atlanta got the much-needed win last week against the Bucks, and the Giants are imploding. in my opinion. I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Taking the Falcons.
Falcons.
I'm pretty sure Vesby's taking the Falcons too.
And our last game of the week.
Giants.
Yeah, give me the Falcons.
Taking the Falcons. And our last game of the week, obviously our most important game, Panthers at the Eagles. Not picked this game yet.
No.
Eagles favored by 5. That line could go up. It could maybe go down, but I see it going up more than down in the next 24 hours.
Right.
Give me the Birds. So let's do a score prediction for this game.
Okay.
I will take the Eagles 27, Panthers 21.
Okay. I got the Eagles winning this game tomorrow. This is how I see it, guys, and I'm gonna summarize this up as best as I can for you. It's either going to be a blowout win for the Eagles, which means it's going to be like a 34-17 type of game, or it's going to be a loss. You can't have it one way or the other. It's not going to be a close game if we win. It's just not going to be because the Carolina Panthers have the type of team that could either kill you or implode on the spot. All right? And if we do not come to play tomorrow, they're going to beat us, and they're going to beat us badly. You know, they're really going to beat us
You
badly.
can say that about any team in the league, but
No, I'm serious though. Like, I mean, we're on that high of beating an NFC East foe for the millionth time in like 10 years. You know, this game to me, it doesn't necessarily scare me, but they have to be ready to play. If they're not ready to play, they're going to get spanked.
I would just be shocked if we lose, because if we lose, we're not a good team. You know?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got to win. This is a must-win game. Like, it is. Like, I hate when people like Chrome say that it's a must-win game, but Chrome, it is a must-win game. It is.
It's
Like,
time to start winning. It doesn't really matter who the opponent is. You have to win.
Yeah.
You have to start winning now.
You need to prove that you're better than the Carolina Panthers at home. Like, if that doesn't tell you must win, I don't know what does. Like, if you want to go back to the Super Bowl, you have to be better than the Carolina Panthers, and you have to beat them. You know, it's that simple. So, I don't know what else you want me to say.
All right, so that concludes our picks for the week.
Okay.
Solid lineup of games this week. Should be interesting.
It should be very interesting. Now let's look at some of these YouTube comments. And I have here, I'm looking on my phone because the Wi-Fi is down. But, okay. Alex CG said.
Our top commenter today, right?
Yeah. He says the Saints defense is atrocious. Yep, that's why I'm picking the Ravens. And
I'm still sticking with the Saints there.
yeah, you like
Drew
you
Brees.
like the high-powered offense and Alvin Kamara and all those players. All right, moving on. The Flyers are playing right now. They're tied 1-1 against the New Jersey Devils. We're going to talk about the Sixers, though, because they have a game tonight against the Orlando Magic. But does that really matter? Because what I saw last night out of the Golden State Warriors shows me and proves to me everything I've said in the offseason, that watching the NBA this year does not matter.
Especially this early.
It just does not matter. It's not even about this early. This season, wipe it out completely. Just erase it from your minds. The Golden State Warriors were down 16 points in the fourth quarter last night, and they came back to win in Utah. You want to tell me that that's not scary? This Golden State Warriors team is so good, it could probably beat a fucking all-star team. This team
of all-time greats.
This team is ridiculous. And I don't know if Ralphie's watching this, but right now, Ralphie, Steph Curry is better than Kobe Bryant. Steph Curry is a top 10 NBA player of all time. Ever. Whenever that guy shoots from beyond the perimeter, he makes it. You know it's going in. And that's the type of player you want on an all-time team.
I mean, if anything, all the Lakers hype should have died last night.
Yeah.
You know?
I am the biggest Allen Iverson fan there is. Love AI. All right? I used to rock the cornrows when I was younger, but I couldn't because it just didn't fit my style. Steph Curry's better than AI. He is. Steph Curry has handles. He doesn't miss ever.
I mean, look how many championships he's won already.
He's a team leader. He's just an amazing athlete overall, and I am actually proud to say that because this guy is consistent. He's shown it time and time again for years. He is the perfect shot.
There's not much else to say.
There's not much else to say. They added Demarcus Cousins. This team can potentially win 75 games this year. I don't even know how they lose. I don't know how they do it. Like it's ridiculous. Is it fun to watch? Yes, but it's a bad product right now because they're just too damn good, and you're basically wasting your money when you're going to watch your teams play because there's no point. There's absolutely no point.
And getting back to the Sixers, I mean, it's a shame that, there's such a, I don't even know how to say it. Boston's better, It sucks to admit it, but there's still just a big a line between us and the Celtics. So it's like, they need another All-Star player. They needed to pick somebody up.
It's not that there's a line between us and the Boston Celtics. I think we have more talent, and I think we have the potential to beat a team like Boston. But will we? Absolutely not. And the reason being is because they have the perfect system to beat us. They spread the ball out quick, they make their shots, and they play heavy, heavy press defense. And when you're the Sixers and you're playing players like Ben Simmons who can't shoot a lick beyond the perimeter, he can't shoot in general. He's not a shooter. He's a good player, not a great player. You have Markelle Fultz, who's scared to shoot. You have Joel Embiid, who's an absolute freak of nature. He's a stud. I can't say anything bad about him. You're re-signing players like Rocco. You're re-signing players like T.J. McConnell. You're not upgrading at all. And you're obviously forfeiting the season. Like, you're going to play the games, but you're pretty much saying, we're not better than the Warriors. We're not better than Boston, so why even try to upgrade? Because we're not going to beat them anyway. That's basically the energy I get from the Philadelphia 76ers.
Like being okay with second place.
They're
They're
okay with participation trophies. That's what they're telling me as a franchise, because you've done this process. You've tanked for years. You wanted to give the fans what they wanted. You went up and got draft picks, and you have nothing to show for it.
You're in the same position as you were before.
Losing.
Yeah.
Tanking and finishing second place is, to me,
what was happening
the same thing. It's the same thing, because if you're not winning the title, you are losing. And that's just how it is. All right? What did LeBron say last year when he lost to the Golden State Warriors? Nothing, because he lost. All right? Nobody remembers second place. Everyone remembers
that is
first
LeBron,
place.
too. I mean, we are trying to get there before we can say, we didn't win, you didn't win the NBA the finals, but
I think
you're right.
I think I'm just a little bit salty on how everyone in the city thinks it's okay with how the Sixers team looks. I'm not. I've been watching the Sixers since AI was in the finals versus the LA Lakers when he stepped over Tyronn Lue. I remember years we were good, when we faced the New Orleans Hornets with Chris Paul when he first came into the league. This Sixers franchise is going absolutely nowhere. Nowhere.
I have a question for you. Who's in a worse position, the Sixers or the Flyers?
Worst position right now? Right now.
Yeah. I think you'd have to say the Flyers.
No.
At least the Sixers are favored to make it to the conference finals.
Before this year, before we lost to Boston's B team, I would have said the Philadelphia Flyers, but the Sixers may have overtaken them. And the reason why I say that is because at least the Flyers have Carter Hart, all right, to rely on. They have a good goalie coming up. The 76ers have good players, but they don't have players to put you over the top.
I think the Flyers, there's always a possibility of them going on a run, right?
There's always a possibility of Flyers going on the run because the NHL is so fluky. The Washington Capitals started down 0-2.
Still can't believe they
started down 0-2
year.
to Columbus last year, and they went on a run when nobody thought they were going to. And the thing with the 76ers, it's a little different because, like I said before, Golden State, nobody's going to beat them, so you might as well just give them the trophy now. But if you're talking about the Eastern Conference alone, you have Toronto that's better than us. You have Boston that's better than us. We are the third seed, and we're not upgrading at any position. We're just settling for what we have, and to me, that's not how you do it. And I'm not going to say it's embarrassing.
It's just depressing, right?
It's depressing because as a realist, I know exactly what's coming. I'm going to go to the game tonight because it's a Saturday night. I want to have some fun, but you just know what's coming. When you go to the playoffs, you just know you're not going to compete. It sucks. It's like someone stabs a knife right in your stomach and just keeps pressing it.
You look at the game tonight. We're favored by 13, but does it really matter?
It doesn't matter. when we went to Boston, and that's the one team you want to
Competing
beat.
against, yeah.
Like that's the one team you need to beat. We
It
got
wasn't even
killed.
close.
It wasn't close. And
Yeah, I mean, what the Celtics have that we don't? It's depth. They have reliable bench pieces. Yeah, the Sixers do have those assets. Well, they could have those assets, but they're just not producing right now. And I think we kind of slightly downgrade a little bit, but we could still compete in the East. It's just going to be a tough hurdle to get to beat these Toronto Raptors and the Boston Celtics.
I mean, at this point, it'd probably be a shock.
Yeah.
If they did it.
Well, they need to add something. Like
They need to add something. And with Elton Brand at GM, maybe he could convince a couple players to jump ship to the Sixers come playoff push. But as of right now, I still see us as the third seed in the East. But I just don't know if we can overcome that hurdle to beat Boston or Toronto.
No, and it's a shame because I keep looking down the road and I'm looking at players like Ben Simmons. When his rookie contract's up, is he going to sign back with us? Like, personally, I don't think so. I think Ben Simmons is going to go to the Lakers.
God.
Oh, no.
No, I'm scared.
Oh, no.
I'm scared because
Well, that's what I was saying.
You just excited Ralph a little bit
That's what
by
I'm
saying
saying.
that.
It's a shame because LeBron was our golden ticket.
he
you
was.
know?
We needed to get him, and we didn't.
You should have, sold the farm, give him whatever he wanted.
Because you know what LeBron did? He opened up the possibilities for other free agents to come here, come to LA now because
Absolutely.
he's there. And I think Ben Simmons' contract is up in 3 years.
And it's like LeBron isn't going away anytime soon.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
So 3 years, and LeBron's still going to be playing in 3 years, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
If not in a limited role, he's still going to be there.
and then that means that Ben Simmons would come over, and when LeBron retires, Ben Simmons would take over.
Okay, this is really depressing. This
Yeah.
show took a
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being honest. The Sixers team has to do something, and they're not doing it. Like, I'm not going to be that happy, lovey-dovey guy that tells you everything's going to be sunshine and
Yeah,
rainbows.
you're happy with the 3 seed, right?
I'm not happy with that. You know, I saw this team get trounced by Boston's B team last year. It was bad. We went. I went to a game. I went to the game we won. Like, that was game number
in Philly,
4.
right?
Yeah, I went to the game that we won. But that game we could have even lost. Like, it wasn't a close series. It was embarrassing. And Joel Embiid said it the best the other night. He was like, "It's not even a rivalry. They always kick our ass." And it's true. And when your marquee franchise player says that, you have to do something to fix that. Like, you should have went out there and got Kawhi Leonard. But did you? No. You let the Toronto Raptors get him. Did you try to go out there and give LeBron a big bag of cash even though he's pretty much almost a billionaire? Yeah, you did. But you failed. Because guess what? That's not how you do things when it comes to rich athletes. That's not how you do it. You have to try to persuade a player to come to the team and tell them why it's a good city to play for and why we're going to win titles and why we're going to compete with the Golden State Warriors every year. And did you do any of that? No. You didn't. And that's exactly why the Sixers are in the spot they are and why the Boston Celtics are in the spot they are. Because Boston Celtics have 17 championships. We have, I think, 2, 3, maybe. We're not even close in titles because their franchise knows how to do it, and ours does not. Sorry.
Well said, right?
Yep.
Can't argue with that right now.
And that's not only the Philadelphia 76ers. That is also the Philadelphia Flyers.
It's a good segue right
Yeah,
there.
that is also the Philadelphia Flyers. And the Philadelphia Flyers, now they're beating the Devils 2-1 right now, but does it really even matter? No. Because the Philadelphia Flyers still don't have a defense. Still don't have a goalie. I'm not okay with Brian Elliott. I want Carter Hart up here right now.
I think everybody wants Carter Hart right now.
Right now. Because could he suck in the near future? Sure. He could. But it's okay. You're putting him on the ice. You're putting him in live action, which is what we want to see from him. And we want him to get better playing the game at the professional level. We don't want you guys to keep babying players because eventually they might not be good enough anyway. So why just keep letting them age and not letting them progress at their natural position at a professional level?
Guess who's in the YouTube chat?
Who?
The guy that just got his account back says, "What's up, peoples?"
Who's that?
EDP.
Oh, EDP's in the
445. Yeah.
What's up, EDP? How you doing?
What's going on, EDP?
Yeah.
Shout out there.
Um,
As you were saying.
As I was saying with the Philadelphia Flyers, it's just I've been a fan for so many years. Die hard. I've been to so many games. And they have potential to do something, but that's another franchise that just doesn't give a fuck. Ed Snyder dies, they hand over the team to some whack job, and then they just don't care. They don't care. They want to keep Carter Hart down there forever, even though he's ready to perform right now. And they just don't care. And
it's just to make money.
Yeah, it is to make money.
It's like just something to go to and see. It's not like, they're not putting all their chips on the table.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're it's like everyone it's like everyone, and this is kind of like a sad time in the show. I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit emotional here, but everyone's like, "Oh, the Philadelphia Eagles won. That means that our city's on the up." No, it's not. The Philadelphia Eagles won. That is one sports team in the town that won. You got the Phillies that look like absolute dog shit. You got the Sixers that are stuck in limbo.
It is Eagles town though.
It's an Eagles town.
But that's probably why the perception was like, all right, everyone's gonna copy the Eagles.
But you have three other sports in this town though. And not everyone loves the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, we love the Philadelphia Eagles. Most of the majority of the town loves the Philadelphia Eagles. But you have those fans, and I've met a lot of them, that just love the Phillies, that just love the Flyers, just love the Sixers, all right? And those fans are probably like, what the fuck? Like, the football team won. Why can't our teams win? And it's for the most bullshit reasons ever. Like, I could go in there, like, I'm not saying I do a better job, but I could go in there and at least try to help fix the situation. Because I'm a fan that wants to fix the team. But right now, the franchises just don't give a fuck. And it's a problem. But, I'm sorry for that little rant, guys.
Negative nitro, right?
Yeah, it needed to be done because there's just so many people that are okay with second place, and I'm just not one of them. I'm not okay with the participation of trophies nowadays. And I'm just fucking fed up with it because I want to win some goddamn titles. Like, I want to overtake Boston. Boston is fucking shitting in our faces with everything.
I mean, you only have the Eagles for 6 months, and then what? Right?
Boston wins in football. Boston wins in baseball now after 86 years. Boston wins in the Stanley Cup. Boston wins in fucking basketball. They win in everything.
They win in soccer, right?
They probably win in fucking soccer, too. New England Revolution or wherever the fuck they're called.
They win in
lacrosse.
Crochet, right?
They win in everything. Oh, my God.
They win in golf, if that existed, right?
Yeah. They win in fucking ice fishing.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
They win at throwing beer at people at the game on Sunday night, right?
Oh, my God. Like, it's so annoying. Like, can we ever win consistently in Philadelphia? Like, it's just, can it be our time? Our time to shine?
Yeah.
I've never seen a Sixers title.
I mean, you always have the Phillies in 08, right? You can always look back
Fuck
at
them.
that.
I never saw a Sixers title. I've never seen a Flyers title. I've seen an Eagles title. That was last year, but that was the first time in, like, forever. And I've
seen all the teams in the finals, at least, in the championship game.
Yeah, and I saw the Flyers versus the Blackhawks, which that fucking goal that they gave up was the most flukiest goal I've ever seen in my life. To make things worse, Michael Layton giving up a little brush.
That's in the year,
because they were on a run, But the Blackhawks were just a better team.
Oh yeah, they're a dynasty.
Yeah, they were. But yeah, I just things got to change, guys, or else we're gonna be looking at the back of people's backs from here on out. That's just how it is. Oh well. Anything else? What do you got, Scott?
No, you pretty much nailed it all. Can't disagree with anything you said.
Yeah, we got some YouTube chats here.
Yeah, time for anything goes, right? Got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, it is time for anything goes. You guys could ask questions all you want. No politics because I just don't talk politics, even though I saw this movie yesterday that made me fucking sick to my stomach.
No religion either, right?
No religion either. And nothing about the upcoming election at all. Nope, not happening. Bryce Blackwell says, Nitro, nobody was coming here. LeBron, PG, etc. Nobody was coming to the Sixers.
And why? Yeah, why?
And why is that?
Yeah, why?
Is that because we didn't have a GM and we picked a player to be our GM out of everybody? Is that why nobody wanted to come here? Is that why PG decided to sign back with Oklahoma City Thunder, even though they have absolutely no shot at winning a title, and he's stuck in bumfuck nowhere? I don't know why players didn't want to come here. Maybe they don't want to play with Ben Simmons. because he can't fucking shoot, and he's not really as good as a player as people think he is. Maybe that's why they didn't want to come here, because he's a star and he runs everything, and they thought that he was a joke. Maybe that's why they don't want him to come here.
I don't know about that, because you'll definitely be upset if he leaves. You said.
No, I wouldn't. Are you fucking kidding me? Everyone's like, oh, Ben Simmons is your future. The guy can't fucking shoot. He can't shoot. He's either scared to shoot. It's a mental thing. He's worked on it all offseason. He still can't shoot the ball. If you can't shoot the ball, you cannot progress in the NBA. You can't do it. And everyone loves the guy because he averages.
It's all they have, too.
But he averages triple-doubles every night.
They invested so much into him.
He averages triple-doubles every single night. He gets 10 assists, 10 boards, 10 points a night. But his points are off layups or close-range jumpers, if that. And he's just not a game changer. He's not. Right now, he's not. If he could learn to shoot the ball, he'll be one of the best players of all time. I hope he does. But it's just not going to happen because he cannot shoot. It's a mental block, and it just will never happen. It won't happen. And if he left tomorrow for pieces, I would gladly take the pieces. I'm sorry. It's just how I am.
Because you see it. You see the future.
I just see it. Yeah. I see it right in front of me, and I'm going to see it tonight. The guy can't shoot the ball. He can't. Neither can Markelle Fultz. These guys can't shoot the ball. They're scared. They can't do it. And the process, it was a risk worth taking. But did it work out? Maybe for some entertainment. But are we still kind of mediocre? Yeah, we are. And
we're in a little bit better position than we were, but you could say the league, other teams went down too. So
yeah. And if you guys want to chime in, I know I'm ranting a lot, but if you guys want to chime in and give me your thoughts and opinions on the Philadelphia 76ers or even the fucking Eagles, like, do what you got to do, And yeah, Bryce Blackwell says they could have had Paul Pierce instead of Larry Hughes. Of course they could have, but that's the draft. Nobody knows what you're getting. Oh man. And then Sixers blue draft picks, Tatum and Bridges, whatever, I never thought Bridges was that good to begin with, but he's thriving over there in Phoenix. I don't know. So, Scotty, what do you think the Sixers need to do to progress?
It's a tough question. I mean, they should have done more in free agency, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And not getting LeBron, I mean, I don't care what anyone says, it's probably it was the biggest blow because they thought they had a chance to get him.
Mm-hmm.
And when they didn't, it's like it was almost like losing, the finals,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just a huge blow. So unless you can get a semi-all-star, you need another piece, and they didn't go after that piece.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have Joel Embiid, but, I mean, that's pretty much all you have right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually it's funny because, Tom would be in here right now probably trying to rip you to shreds for saying that. But you are right. You are right, and he is wrong. Because Tom, great guy, all right? Tom, great talker. But Tom, biased fan.
Yeah.
Extremely biased fan.
Which is fine.
Which is fine, but at the same time, you have to realize that we are so far behind the Boston Celtics right now.
And it sucks. It's not fun at all.
No. It's so far. It's not close. It's not close.
Yeah, if game one didn't prove that to you, I mean.
Yeah. It's not close. And in a 7-game series, they would rip us to shreds. It would probably be another on verge of a sweep, to be honest with you. And even Toronto beat Boston last night. They beat them at home by 10. And I was watching that game, and I was like, wow, they look so much better with Kawhi Leonard, and it looks like DeMar DeRozan's an afterthought. It's crazy, man.
It's like, can this team get better? Can they progress throughout the season? Yes, to close the gap a little bit.
Yeah, if the players learn how to shoot.
I mean, yes and no, but I think at the end of the day, it's the end result, like you said. So It's like, what does it really even matter?
Yeah. All right, we have Bryce Blackwell in the chat saying, who should the Eagles trade for? Kind of going off topic a little bit.
We can get back to the birds, some positivity, right? Some hope.
Yeah.
Who should the Eagles trade for? I mean, if you want to go all out, it still has to be Le'Veon.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I mean, he would make the biggest impact, and obviously he's the biggest name apparently on the trade block. And it would just help the offense and help Wentz so much. So I'm definitely going to say Bell. I mean, other needs, you could say corner, but, I mean, who are you really going to trade for?
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, I don't know. I think you go like a Richard Sherman route on a dying 49ers team. Like, who else is out there for corner? You know, so I would definitely say Le'Veon Bell.
Right. I would trade for obviously, we're back to the Eagles now because my depressing rants are over. We know we're in happy land when it comes to the Eagles. I would. At this point, I think it's a no-brainer. You trade for Le'Veon Bell. And
You have 2 second-round picks. I mean, you would probably trade both second-round picks for him, would you, or no?
I mean,
what would you trade for Le'Veon Bell?
What would I trade for Le'Veon Bell? I would trade a 4th. I would trade a 2nd, and I would trade a 5th for Le'Veon Bell. That's what I would do.
About a 2nd and a 3rd.
No, I wouldn't give up 2 crucial picks. I would give up one. We have 11 picks to choose from, so whatever they want, they can get, except for 2 top-tier picks. Because 2 top-tier picks I feel like we could use, especially on our defensive side of the ball, especially when it comes to the cap, and we have to fix up the cap, and Howie Roseman's a genius at that.
Plus, it's like, can we re-sign Le'Veon, too? It would definitely
He's a rental. He's a rental.
Just 1 year.
He will not be coming back here.
I think you'd at least have to franchise tag him.
He hates that.
I know.
He can't stand that.
I know.
Have you not read into Le'Veon Bell? He cannot stand that. He wants to know where he's playing, and you're not going to be able to pay him. He's a rental. You'd have to win this year if you got Le'Veon Bell. And do I think they can? Yeah. I mean, I think they can win with Le'Veon Bell this year. But how much do you want to give up for a guy that's going to be a pure rental? Because he wants $18 million a year. And he's going to be 27 next year. So would you give him 3 years? Would you give him 3 years at $18 million a year?
If we can afford it, yes.
Frank, how about you? Would you give him 3 years at $18 million a year?
Yeah.
Le'Veon?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's 27?
27. Yeah. He's expensive. But if you feel like he's a huge need, which he obviously is, because
he's the best running back in the league.
Well, Jay Ajayi is not coming back. He's gone.
We know that.
Yeah. So that's the one.
A lot of these players aren't coming back, like we said.
Yeah, that's the one move I feel like we should make. Like, it's a necessary move. And that's the one guy that puts you over the top. And I don't think there's another guy that does it for you. I really don't. And Bryce Blackwell just said, Steelers want a second rounder for Le'Veon Bell. And he says, how much roster turnover do you see in 2019 for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Like almost 50%.
50%?
Honestly, you got Sproles, Peters, Bennett, Haloti Ngata, Chris Long, potentially Brandon Graham, Darren Sproles. That's a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you're gonna need those draft picks to replenish it. Hopefully, you'll free up some cap space, but time will tell with Wentz's upcoming mega deal. So.
Right.
Do you agree with that? Like 50%, possibly.
Maybe more. 50% at least. And this one guy in the chat just said, what was his name? I gotta look it up. This one guy just said in the chat, his name is Alex Sanchoni or whatever that is. We can't pay Bell, we must pay Wentz. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
You can't argue with that.
It's a nightmare.
But it's called being an NFL team.
It's a nightmare.
We've had it easy now with the Wentz's rookie contract. That's why we bring in so many free agents.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not the top tier free agent, but at least we do have the core of our team, which is obviously why we won the Super Bowl, our offensive line, defensive line. But besides that, I mean, anything else goes pretty much.
Yeah, and I'd feel a lot better paying Wentz without that injury. But you're going to have to pay him regardless. So you're going to bank a lot of your money on your franchise quarterback who isn't necessarily the most healthy person out there. It is going to be frustrating. But at least we got that one title.
Yeah, right.
At least we got that one Super Bowl title,
Can always look back at it, right?
Yeah. But you're going to be hooked with Carson Wentz. So hopefully he stays healthy throughout his tenure as a Philadelphia Eagle, and we don't have to talk about this, and we get multiple championships. And that would be
There's definitely still a realistic chance you could win this year because I only see 2 teams better, and that's the Rams and the Saints.
Right.
And we know in this league, especially in the playoffs, any team can win any game. It's a one-game elimination. Especially if you're playing that team at home somehow, you get the number 2 seed. It's still a real possibility this year. So
Bryce just said we can't pay Wentz all the money. We got to spread it around for other talent.
Who's going to be your quarterback then? Foles?
It's not gonna be Foles, but Bryce, I have to disagree with you there, buddy. Carson Wentz, you can't just let him go. Carson Wentz is your cornerstone. He's your franchise. Either Carson Wentz is gonna be a nice guy.
I mean, that's why you trade all those picks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's your plan.
Either Carson Wentz is gonna take a pay cut, and help the team around him, or he's gonna be a greedy guy and he's gonna take all the money and be like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna win you all these games by myself, and it's just not gonna work out.
I don't know about being a greedy guy. It's like what the market projects, you know?
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, he
seems like a good guy. He likes to hunt, you know.
Yeah, maybe he won't go all out, but should he? I mean, I would. What's stopping you? I mean,
he already got injured. That's the main concern.
Doesn't matter. Look at Jimmy G. How much money he got. He already got injured.
No.
You know?
No, but listen. When you already got injured, you're going to have a different mindset. You're going to want to go for the most money because you don't know what you're going to be doing in life after football. All right?
True.
If he didn't get injured.
But every player does that anyways. Look at Le'Veon. He's never been hurt.
Yeah, but over the top money, and you know you can get it because you're that good. He's going to be probably looking in the range of 175 to 200 million. All right? And I don't know if we can pay him and then keep a good team around him. I just don't know if we can do that.
It's definitely never been done, right?
But it's going to have to be done. That's the problem. So this is where your captain, Howie Roseman, comes into play. He's the captain now.
You got to make it work. You got to do, almost like the Bill Belichick method, where you're changing parts every single year. You can't get attached to players.
Yeah, you can't get attached to players. But I'm saying pay him, of course, but I mean pay cut. I mean, do you think Carson Wentz is the guy that'll take a pay cut?
Maybe down the road, but not like right when he got paid. All right, let's have a pay cut right after we just paid you $200 million.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure he'll definitely. I mean, everyone helps out. How we just restructured Fletcher Cox's deal like last week, so I definitely think Wentz will eventually. But I mean, he's looking for the money right now.
Yeah, he definitely is. He probably wants to start a family. He just got a new dog. He just got married. So yeah, he's gonna want a lot of money. So I mean, we'll see.
It is what it is. I don't blame him for wanting a lot of money. I think that's becoming like a debate.
This turned in from a happy show to a very depressing show, like in 2 seconds.
Let's get back to the game tomorrow. We're gonna win tomorrow. Right?
Yeah, we're gonna win tomorrow. Everyone's gonna be happy after tomorrow. Then we go over to London and drink some beers and probably lose. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it should be very exciting to say the least. I can't wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be a good game.
No doubt, definitely is.
Definitely. But let's see if we have anything else over here on YouTube land. And okay, Kevin McDonald 500 said, "I believe Wentz will have a contract where they can go around and get the talent around him because he wants to win and being on the side wants to win and being on the sideline for the Super Bowl ignited a fire in him." It's a good comment. Do you think him just standing there while Foles lifted up the trophy made him a little bit salty and wanted to make him do it himself?
I don't know about salty. I think there's a natural fire inside everyone
competition
if you push them hard enough, but I think he's definitely a team player. I mean, he definitely would have rather had us win than not win.
Yeah.
It makes his job easier. It almost makes the fans give him more patience because he's still a young player. Like, let's not forget, this is only his 3rd season.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely, like I said, he deserves the money, and he's going to get it, so.
No, it's not a question of if he deserves it or not. Like, some people label him as a top 5 QB. He definitely deserves the money. It's just about what you can do after it. After you can spend all that money on him, like, what's the talent you're going to put around him? And that's
where Howie
main
Roseman
question.
comes in, like you said.
Yeah.
They already do have a lot of talent locked up, like Alshon, Ertz,
yeah,
Lane Johnson.
Like, they have a lot locked up right now. So it should be really interesting, guys. It's going to be an interesting
next couple of years,
next
right?
couple of months, next couple of years, next decade. It's going to be interesting. And,
we're going to find out how good Wentz really is.
Guys, this is what sports are all about. It's about figuring out things, how to get your team to get a championship. Now, we don't work for the teams, but this is what makes sports talk radio a fun thing.
Yeah, I feel like you sound like Father Time right now or something. We covered everything in this show today, didn't we?
We covered most things. We covered most things in the worldwide sports of Philadelphia, and we have Frank over there. Trying to figure out what the fuck is happening.
That's why they call it the Hooligans, right?
Yeah, it is. It was a pretty depressing show at the end, and I'm sorry about that, but you guys needed to hear that. But
And the Wi-Fi went down, so
the Wi-Fi did go down,
that was
and
kind of a
without
bummer.
Wi-Fi, nothing's free. So,
But we still have the show on the stream.
Yep,
Everything's still connected.
exactly, which is all that matters at the end of the day.
No problem.
And you know
What
what?
time is it? About to wrap up? Or we
We're
got a
about to
couple more?
wrap up. Thank you, Scotty, co-host every single week
No
from
problem,
now
Kyle.
on.
Great to be here.
Vespi on the ones and twos. Thank you, Vespi. And, thank you for tuning in to another Saturday edition of the Hooligans. We'll be back next week
Go Birds, right?
previewing the game in London. We are out of here. Bye.